to the One Up Podcast, the place where we talk sports, movie, video games, and everything else under the sun. I am your host, El Caballo. Here with me are my co-hosts, DJ Doey Fresh, Mateo,
Yo.
the Texas one without a gun, the bald one, the great one, Pucho. Always
and you are?
I already said El Caballo.
Did you already say you are? Is that the beginning of the intro? This is a new thing, y'all.
It's a
You want me to restart?
No, keep rolling. We're a garbage truck.
And if you're new to our channel, please show some love by hitting the share, like, and subscribe button. And if you're a returning member, thank you for showing love and continuously one-upping yourself.
That's what I'm talking about.
Bucho loves that returning member line.
Yeah, he hates it. For sure.
What are they a member of?
They're a member of the family, bro. They're one of the
Is that
family.
what we're saying? Like The Sopranos, members only. Our viewers are called the members.
You know, we could make some jackets, like some members only.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
And in this episode, we're talking, should we still use graveyards to bury people? UFO sightings? And is it finding a way to talk to somebody without being creepy? Pucho, got a question for you though.
What's going on?
You came in my mind 2 times. Oh, you popped in my mind 2 times. Better words. I ran into somebody who was talking about you, not knowing that they knew that I knew you. Very weird. Dude from high school.
Are they talking good or bad?
Good. They were like, they knew a buddy of mine's that I know. And they're like, yeah, man, I remember playing basketball with a bunch of Dominican dudes, this and that, over here on where you guys used to live at, over there by 6th Avenue. He was like, it was a short, big guy, or not short, big guy. It was tall, big guy. I think he was talking about your brother. Skinny dude, Italian guy, which is obviously flat. Ray, the dark one, supposedly is how he said it. And this dude with curly hair. I'm like, hey, this man's talking about Pucho on them. So I'm listening, and then he was like naming names off. Ray, Flat. I was like, are you talking about Pucho too? He turns around, looked at me like, you know Pucho? I'm like, yeah, that's my man. It's like this, and that, and the third. He was like, oh man, yo, tell him to hit me up. I'm like, I'm in town now. I'm like, all right, cool. I'll try to remember your name to tell Pucho or whatever. I called you that day for something else outside of the pod, and I forgot to say it, and I forgot the name. So now I'm trying to fight myself to remember he was a Haitian dude. I forgot his name though.
Tony, more importantly, did you get him to subscribe to the One Up Podcast?
I did not. I failed at that.
Yeah, that's an epic fail.
That's the epic fail.
That's priority number 1.
That's
priority
always
0.
Oh, damn, before the one.
You don't even greet someone. That's how you start off the greeting.
Yeah.
There's priority 0, and then when they come to the channel, they'll 1 up to get. Then we'll get to number 1.
Before I say my name, here, subscribe. And then I say my name and talk to him. And then the second time was
how about trying to figure out what Haitian I knew in Palm Beach is like it's
hard,
like a needle in a haystack. I hang out with so many Haitians growing up. It's like I don't who I have no idea who you can be talking about.
And if I say Gene, that's like 4 or 5 people you know. It's like
I'm not even going there. I was just saying,
word.
I played basketball with so many Haitian people growing up that I'm like, yep. There's a Haitian guy that I used to play basketball with. It's like, it's water wet. Yeah. So it's like, I don't know. That sucks.
And then the other time was explaining somebody the same, like it was a child debate, and I had the same viewpoint as this person did. And then I remember the conversation you told me, and I just related back to him. He was like, damn, you're smart, bro. This, that, and the third. And I'm thinking to myself,
about what?
It was on how you should put your kid to sleep, put him on an early sleep schedule, this, that, and the third. Don't give him, warm bottles, get him used to room temp, this and whatever, right? And I told him everything like you, at least you told me or whatever, and that it worked for me. He said, oh, you're so smart, bro. Only a real parent would come up with ideas like this. And I was like, yeah, someone told me the same thing, though, so I'm learning, man. It's a learning process.
Hey, man, we all learn from each other, bro. My manager, where I work, she gave me like 17 bags of clothes, books, toys, advice, all types of stuff. So, and then of course I got a bunch of family and friends that are parents. So it's like I got a bunch of the advice that I'm regurgitating to you and like, ever got a new kid and, all that kind of stuff. But
Yeah, it's a learning process. I like the shirt though. Lacoste. You're a Lacoste man for sure, bro.
Yeah.
Somebody disrespected Dowie on this purchase this weekend. Actually, said he made a really bad purchase.
What?
What? What you bought?
I guess he says that I buy the same
He said
thing over.
I was like, yo, I want to buy like, because I have a lot of like plain jeans, right? I only wear, the only jeans I wear are Levi's, right? Which tend to be very like, you know, they're a good look. They're clean. You could wear these anywhere. And, you know, you could even wear a pair of Levi's to a more formal setting. And if you dress right, you could get away with it, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I was like, you know, I want a little bit more of like a stylish pair of jeans. You know, something more like streetwear kind of thing. And then Dowie was trying to give me advice. And our fashionista was like, don't take any advice from Dowie. He just bought a Lacoste shirt. I was like, what's wrong with that? So it's funny that you're wearing is that the Lacoste shirt that was
I don't know. I have several.
I thought it was because you had the one Lacoste shirt with the big gator or crocodile. I know you know, but I don't really care.
It's definitely a gator. I think that's funny that this is happening to Doughboy, because him and the fashionista used to
It's so secret
And
now.
what's funny is that Tony wasn't even part of that conversation. He knew it was Jesus.
Yeah.
I said, Jesus is gonna listen to this. He's gonna agree with us. He's gonna say, "Yeah, I said that."
100%. There's no way, because they used to make fun of me back in the days for wearing Mark Echo clothing brand, which would look good. I mean, it's just, you know, not in their eyes low class clothing. It's like, damn. So now it's funny that Zeus is looking at him with low class clothing shirts. But
It's actually funny you mentioned that. Booch and I were just talking about how we're going to start wearing Echo clothes too, but we meant Echo the Dolphin. We were just going to wear graphic tees of Echo the Dolphin.
Echo's the dolphin. No, but I like it. It's a teal colored shirt, if I'm not mistaken, right? It's teal.
Yeah.
It's the I don't know why I didn't think that was teal for some reason in my head. Whatever, ignore me. But yeah,
I'm colorblind. That looks lime green to me.
It's got a little. There's a little more blue in there. All right, I want to tell you guys. I just rewatched Dumb and Dumber, and oh my god, is this movie 1 billion times better than all of you guys remember it?
What is
Oh,
it
it's such a good
streaming
movie.
on?
Such a good movie.
It is on Max, which you can download. Dowie can't fucking install Max right now.
My TV won't let me install it, bro. It keeps bringing me to the app. It'll say installing, never installs.
You know
They
what?
have all 3 Dumb and Dumber movies on there, and you should only watch the first one.
You know
the other two
what?
are terrible.
You should watch the first one and you should uninstall Max and unsubscribe from Max. You know why? HBO Max just pulled Space Ghost Coast to Coast off of the rotation, and that's basically a crime.
Wow.
Space Ghost
That's
Coast to Coast is
terrible.
one of my first introductions to Adult Swim. It was so good.
I actually didn't know that was on there. If I knew that was on there, I would have been watching it.
I don't like these subscription streaming services that just take certain TV shows off. Like I just started watching Suits on Amazon Prime, free, 9 seasons. I'm season 7. All of a sudden, they took it off the free side, and now you got to pay $45 for each season. I'm like, damn, I got 2 more seasons left. Like, y'all seriously just took it off? Makes no damn sense to me.
Is that show
Usually
good?
when they take it off from one site, it's because it's on some other streaming site. So you just got to find the new place it's streaming on now. Because it's just like licensing, you know what I mean? So it's like whatever license they had, whatever agreement they had is run out, and now it's on, you know, Netflix or HBO Max or wherever it landed. But
Now, Dumb and Dumber 1, is that the one where he has shit all over the bathroom walls?
no, that's
No.
Dumb and Dumber, which there are like 3 good scenes in that movie. And my memory was I kind of like Dumb and Dumber more, but I was so wrong. Okay. I watched Dumb and Dumber, and this movie is 10 out of 10 comedy. And then I went and started Dumb and Dumber, and I couldn't even get through like the first 20 minutes. I was like, this is horrible. Don't even watch it. It's terrible. But the dad screaming, there's shit all over the walls. There's shit everywhere. That is hilarious. That movie's probably worth watching just for the 3 scenes where he leaves shit everywhere and the dad is like freaking out.
That's Bob Saget too, right? Rest in peace.
Yeah, Bob Saget, the man.
Man,
Maybe
I
not the
forget-
man. I don't know.
Bob Saget's dead? He is dead, isn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah. sure.
Forgot
People
about
just
that.
people just be dying.
That's what
That's-
happens when you're old, man.
it's
That's what old
life.
people do. They die, dude.
Betty White, rest in peace.
Okay.
Betty White's a little different. You didn't know, like I feel like she was old almost my whole entire life.
She's been old since the Golden Girls, and that was in the like 80s and 90s or something,
She
right?
lived a long, good life,
Yeah.
bro. Like, I feel like if you hit 80s, if you die, it's expected to be. It's like,
But when Zach Fox said "Rest in peace, Betty White," she was alive and kicking.
Yes,
He
she
said,
was.
"Rest in peace" for no reason.
He says, "I know, cause I know it's coming."
what a dick.
Anyways, Dumb and Dumber, hilarious front to back, and I don't mean just like a funny, like I was screaming laughing. The movie is hilarious.
It's so good.
There's only one scene that I didn't really like, which is like he has like a dream and he's like farting in front of people, and it's like fart humor, and it's like farts stink. I'm not into it. You know what I mean?
I just watched a YouTube series the other day. I wanted to say it's on like the RevZilla channel or something like that. It's on one of the motorcycle channels. And these two guys recreated the moped ride from Dumb and Dumber in real life. They built
That
a little.
sounds like a nightmare.
It was awful. It
In
was
the
so
winter?
rough on them.
Was it
Yep.
the winter?
It was during the winter that they recreated it. They were freezing. One of them, in fact, wore no gloves the entire time because he said in the movie that the character was not wearing gloves, so he wasn't going to wear gloves.
That's if he would get frostbite. He would literally start to get frostbite.
That's
It was wild.
Yeah, there's so many good jokes in that movie. And the other
Speaking
thing I wanted to say was, I watched Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, and screw Sony and Marvel, okay?
Oh,
Because
okay.
nobody built this movie as a part 1 of 2 type situation. And I'm sitting there, I'm like, how are they gonna wrap this movie up? There's too many loose ends, and then the movie just ends, and it's just like, that's it, to be continued. And I'm like,
I
you
didn't
don't
know
get
that
to get away
either.
with it. You got to let me know. So just in case anybody's interested, Across the Spider-Verse is a part 1 of, I don't even know. I'm just assuming 2. It could be 4 for all I know. It's a part 1 of some amount. Just be mentally prepared. Fantastic movie. The animation, some of the best I've ever seen in any movie. I loved the movie front to back. But not knowing, me and my wife walked out of the movie theaters with 5 minutes left in the movie. No, I swear to God, maybe 2 minutes left in the movie, because I had to go pick up my kids from daycare. And I was like, there's no way this movie's going to wrap up in the next 2 minutes. I'm like, why would they say the runtime was this long if there's still at least 30 minutes to wrap this up? I'm like, I got to go. And I left all pissed off that I didn't get to finish the movie, that they lied to me on the runtime. And then I got home and I found it on the website. And then I was only missing like a minute and 30 seconds. It just ends right there. And I'm like, oh man, this is actually, I could have finished it, I don't even know what the after credit scenes are. I didn't even look into that, but
I feel the same way with I just watched Fast 10 on my app on the TV, a part 2. Like, how do you finish? Like, they're crashing into like water and all this extra stuff. Like, how do you finish a movie like this? Like, why?
I'll say you're bugging, because everybody knows they're gonna make an infinite number of Fast and the Furious movies. So who cares? It could be a part 1 of 3. It doesn't matter. You're gonna go watch the Fast 11, Fast 12. You're gonna watch them all.
I think
It's Fast 10 Part 2.
Yeah, part 2. I think it's the end. I don't think they're making it anymore. The way this is playing out, I feel like the energy is to gear for the final. Hoorah.
I hope that the Fast series finally ends, and the next year they just reboot it immediately, right back into the first Fast and Furious movie.
I watched a YouTube video that says Fast and Furious 2 is basically a bisexual romance movie. And they make some pretty good points. There is a lot of sexual tension between Tyrese and this guy in that movie.
Paul Walker.
Paul Walker and Tyrese, they want each other's attention. They're fighting for it. It's weird. There's a lot of like bromance.
They're just like
going
brothers.
on.
Yeah, they're brotherly love.
I don't know. It's like Top Gear, right? Or Top Gun, the first Top Gun. There's some undertones in that movie that I know were probably not what they intended, but there's definitely some undertones in that movie.
I don't mean this in a derogatory way whatsoever. but Top Gun feels like one of the gayest movies I've ever watched. Like it's all like they have like the volleyball scene. They're like all up on the abs and the pecs, and all the men are like high fiving and hugging each other and stuff. They're like butt naked in the shower. They're all like standing chest to chest. They're probably standing tip to tip, trying to see who's the bigger man. I'm like, this is not like the straight dude, powerful 80s guy energy that I think they were trying to go for. There seems to be some sexual tension between, in particularly Tom Cruise and Val Kilmer. They look like once the scene ended, they're gonna like secretly reconvene somewhere.
Don't they have a conversation like an inch away from each other's face at one point in that movie?
And then they're butt naked in the locker room, standing tip to tip, having an intense conversation.
It's the Archer thing, the boop.
Tips are probably touched for sure. I mean, you can't be that close with somebody in the shower and not be touched.
I rewatched that movie the other day. Also good. I'm telling you, Tom Cruise has 2-3 movies that are bad out of like his entire like, I don't know how many 50, 60 movie run. The guy has a fantastic. Nobody in Hollywood has a better list of movies than Tom Cruise. I'm telling you right now.
I don't know. I was fact checking that one the other day when I was working on the thumbnail, and I don't know if I quite agree, but I haven't fully built my argument yet against Tom Cruise having the best list.
I would love to hear your argument, all right? Because you're wrong, Matthew.
Damn.
I wouldn't say he has the best, because there's some actors. Who's the guy? Oh God, he's escaping me. He's only been in like 12 movies, and like 9 of them are like Oscar movies.
The guy in the 90s who made the...
I think it's Caviezel.
Oh, no, I'm not. I'm thinking about the guy who shrunk his kids.
Oh, Rick Moranis.
Rick Moranis?
Rick Moranis.
No, I think I'm
Rick
thinking of the guy who was the Passion of the Passion. He was Jesus, I think, in Passion of the Christ. I think in that movie, that guy has like a small number of roles he's acted in, and all of them are like pretty good movies. I wouldn't say. What was he in the Prison Break movie by Alexander Dumbass? What's the name of that book?
The Prisoner of
Oh my God,
the Count of Monte Cristo.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, that movie he was in, not Oscar worthy, but his other movies are like really damn good. Maybe I'm thinking about the wrong guy, but there's a couple actors that have only acted in a small number of movies, and of course, Tom Cruise can't compete with them, but nobody's pumping out 2 to 3 movies a year at the quality of the Tom Cruise. All right, that's what I'm saying. Scientology's working for this guy. I'm just reiterating that.
Man, I'm trying to think. Offhand, I would say potential competitors: Ryan Reynolds, Arnold Schwarzenegger.
I give Arnold props. Arnold got a lot of good. Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah, I'm not.
Ryan Reynolds been on a run for a while though. He definitely had some duds back in like the when his rom-com era.
He had some duds like a year ago. The one that he made with The Rock is one of the worst movies I've legitimately ever seen.
The Red whatever.
Yes,
it was all right. It wasn't a bad movie, but it was just
horrible.
It was very by the book, formulaic. Like,
Marte, are you saying what actor you think has better movies? Or better actor versus
less bad movies, I think is the argument that we're doing.
Yeah,
movies.
I'm not saying that Tom Cruise is the best actor. I'm saying that the movies that Tom Cruise happens to be in, and not just happens, the guy is like a producer in a lot of these things. The movies that he's in, he's making these movies happen. They're good movies. You'll have a hard time picking out like movies that are bad in the Tom Cruise list. Like The Man got some hits.
I would say Denzel has a better.
I was gonna say Denzel.
I feel like Denzel's been in a lot of bad like B
movie.
movies. I'm not positive though.
Where he's the lead?
You don't have to be the lead. I think it's just any role, right?
Well, Tom Cruise has only been the lead in all his movies. He's never no.
But I would say that
Tropic Thunder. He's not the lead in Tropic Thunder.
I think he's a co-leader. Good one, Mateo.
What'd you say, Joey?
I wanted to say real quick that the Twitterverse, the Black Drug Twitter, found something out for us this week. Sean Kingston has been running off on the plug on several plugs for lean bottles, and apparently he has a lean addiction. There's
sad.
And he'll run off on you, and everybody's like, "Oh, Sean Kingston, he runs off on everybody." He's known in the industry. So the lean man doxed him and gave all of his
Wow.
information away.
Wow.
So people were trying to buy cars under Sean Kingston's name, but you don't have no money. They were trying to sign up for T-Mobile. They found out that he owes T-Mobile like $8,000.
That's crazy.
How does that happen?
I don't know.
Bad.
That's
bad
a lot of
call.
that. Actually, you know what? Phones are expensive now. If you're buying phones for like the entire crew, the whole
Yeah.
entourage, I could see you getting up to like an $8,000 phone bill.
Yeah. So yeah, everybody was disappointed when they figured out that they couldn't buy nothing because he doesn't have any money.
That's wild.
And then he announces his tour right when this happened. So I don't know if it was a coincidence or he's using all this bad press to kind of like start a tour.
Well,
But yeah.
for our first topic, ladies and gentlemen, should we use graveyards in 2023? Is this still a way to, bury people, or is cremation the best option? I brought this topic up because I wanted to see if graveyards are just continuously growing. Obviously there's millions of people, so it's like at some point we're gonna have to have a cutoff, right? Me and my cutoffs. There's gonna be a cutoff. Like there's better options. I was wondering if maybe you guys might want to give your intake or your input into this matter of graveyards or whatever, or you don't care.
I would like to go like Hunter S. Thompson. Have you ever heard about how Hunter S. Thompson, like how his funeral went?
No.
Who's Hunter S. Thompson?
He was a Gonzo reporter. He kind of created like Gonzo journalism in general. He's famous for the Rum Diaries. He did a big long form article on the Hells Angels. He did Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas. That was his writing about a race that he was covering in the desert. He's this kind of out there journalist, outlaw type. He loved drugs and alcohol and shooting guns, and sometimes all three at the same time. He's an interesting character. But when he died, he had a cannon constructed, and he had his ashes loaded into the cannon and made into fireworks. And everyone that came together at they had this big party, and then they fired the cannon and they fired him off into the sky on fireworks.
That's not bad. You're just going to have
Right.
a bunch of me just spreading everywhere, or a bunch of you just spreading everywhere.
Mm-hmm. I just want to be made into some fireworks.
That sounds terrible. He's blasted out of a cannon. That just sounds. That sounds horrible.
And exploded. Let's not forget about that point. You reach a certain, just boom. Weird.
I'd want to be tossed directly into the sun.
Ooh.
I want to fuel our little solar system. You know what I'm saying?
Launched into space. That's a.
No, not into space, into the sun. I want Superman to just throw me into the sun.
You end up giving the sun indigestion. Pale, it's a big ass fart.
The crazy thing is, Dickie, he gets intercepted by aliens or whatever, then he becomes Pucho again. They send him back down as a god.
I accept that too.
Oh,
These are options. No, all right. The whole burial thing, right? I understand. I don't know how the other religions, like the other major religions, like Jewish people or Muslim people. But I mean, I grew up like Catholic, so like I understand the whole the idea that we came from the earth, so they're gonna put us back in the earth or whatever. I don't know. I don't like it.
I've been told by religious people that cremations are against the Bible, because how is Jesus going to put your body back together and make you rise again if you're ashes instead of being buried in the ground? Which means the Bible is a story about zombies, and I don't think we talk about that enough.
Yeah, that's super weird.
Or how like an all-powerful God is incapable of reforming your body from ashes.
ooh. Real
But
twist.
yeah, remember when Hurricane Katrina happened and it flooded? All those bodies just started popping out of graveyards.
Yep.
Like there were bodies, there were caskets all over the place because like the flooding caused all these like people to come out of the ground. That's just disturbing. Not that I care what happens to me after I die. I just don't want dead bodies floating around during natural disasters. Like that just feels not good. So like I until I find a more suitable form of, burial or something like that, I'm opting to get cremated. You know what I mean?
What if I told you there's a way that's been around already for a while that you can get cremated and put your ashes into a pot with a plant, and soon you'll be a plant. Like, people have done this already. I forgot what part of Europe or something like
trees.
that. What? You could come back as Dewey's dick tree by his
trees.
house.
That would be
that tree?
offensive. If I had to live the remainder of my existence as that tree, I'd wish a lumberjack came around and cut me down. Okay? That'd be my wish.
I mean, it's always a viable option.
So wait, is that the same thing as human composting? Because I heard that's a thing now, and you become just soil, not a tree.
No, you just become soil. Yeah. I mean,
you're just soil.
I don't know.
Ashes. That's like going back into the earth, right?
Definitely
I checked that little organ donor thing on my license, right? So I'm an organ donor.
They're gonna kill you.
I'm assuming they just chop out whatever they need, and then I get cremated afterwards. I guess I could do whatever I want with what remains. Is that what?
Correct.
The way it works?
I think they chop out whatever they need, and then your body goes to your family to do the typical things that happens to bodies. I don't think you're like bought into getting cremated or anything. But.
And I don't mind I'm a donor as well. Like, if I die for some reason, and some little boy or somebody needs my heart, give him my heart. Little me will continue to live on in somebody else. Oh,
just
man,
don't give them the brain.
That poor boy with that poor 6-year-old boy with Tony's elephant heart beating inside of his chest.
Wow, that's crazy.
He cuts his finger. It's gonna be a fountain of blood.
How do you want to go, Tony?
I've always said it, Viking style, man. Put me on the wooden raft, push my body out to sea, arrow, bow, fire, light me up. Same as cremation. I'm gonna burn.
It's gonna be like Game of Thrones, dude. We're just gonna be missing with every single arrow we're shooting.
What happens if that shark comes that ate that one guy? He comes and eats you.
Yeah, that was crazy.
You saw that video, Mateo?
No, what are you?
There's a video of this. Go look it up. It's like a Russian guy swimming in the ocean, and these two sharks just run up on him and just eat him on video, dude.
Whoa.
They say it's one shark.
They say they took his arms off, so that or his legs off or something, so he couldn't swim away, and then they just devoured him. It's a very disturbing video.
That's even more disturbing with the thing I read the other day. There was this, they're working on this ocean study, and they're talking about how we're probably swimming around sharks way more often than we think. Like, the sharks are always there. You just don't see them, but you're basically swimming next to sharks every time you're in the ocean.
I don't fuck with the beach, so I'm good, bro. I don't like sand. I don't need none of that in my life. And fuck you, though. Talk about the brain. I don't think there's ever been a brain transplant ever like that I've known, but fuck you.
The brain, I missed something.
He said, just don't give him his brain as when I was saying donor, give him whatever. Don't give him the brain. And you agreeing. Yeah, fuck you, too.
How do you want to go, bro? You want to get buried?
I respect the traditional sense of like going and having a burial and stuff like that, but I am so against that whole thing that they've created. Like, it's all bullshit, bro.
Like the embalming process itself, is that what you're talking about? Or?
No, not like the mortuary or the morgue stuff. I'm talking about like
the money of the boxes,
funeral homes, the way they sell this shit, the plots, the land, they're just playing with your feelings the entire time, and it's so fucked up. I've had 2 or 3 different funerals, 4 different funerals that I went to, some better than others, some where I was like, wow, this is really respectful. And then there was my grandfather's funeral, which I was like, yo, this is so fucked. They were rushing us through the whole procession. They gave my grandfather a very terrible prayer. It was just really bad all around. And after that experience, not only that, but I went to that funeral home a few times. Every time I go to it, I get a sore throat or sick the next day. Every single time. So I'm like, that place is dusty, musty, and reeks of death. I'm like, that shit is just killing you when you go in there.
Like, what I'm imagining myself as working in a funeral home and just hitting people with the I can give you a 2-for-1 deal on the casket. Someone else dies, like I'm just thinking of ways like how you could say something to sell something without being like coming off like a dick. But I don't think there's any way as a funeral guy, like
Tony,
you can't come off as a dick.
I don't think you can do deals like that at funeral homes. Imagine you show up to a funeral home, it's got one of those guys outside with a sign, like spinning the sign. You wouldn't go to that funeral home. It's got the waving inflatable arm flailing 2 men out front.
Bro, like, I mean, that shit's crazy.
For example, they picked me, my mom, and my grandma up to take my grandfather in the hearse to the funeral, to the cemetery. And the guy was hitting 80, 90 miles per hour down the fucking highway. Woo. And my grandma was holding on. We were all in the back like, oh my God, slow down. My grandma was like, slow down in Spanish. And then he's like, I'm sorry, ma'am, we have a time slot for the next person. I was like,
wow.
I was like, what is this, bro?
That's crazy.
That's some New York City shit. There's so many people to bury, they gotta rush. But in all of that, you never really answered the question. Do you want to get buried?
I think personally, because I don't have nobody to put that burden on. I've already seen it happen. Somebody has to pay for this shit. I don't know anybody who's gonna pay for mine, so I would rather just get cremated. And then like,
I thought we would just get you taxidermied.
Yo, have you seen those funerals?
Is that a thing?
Have you seen the Puerto Ricans do it. Puerto Ricans are the craziest people in the world. Puerto Ricans do it. You never seen it like the Bahamians, and they'll have them on like a motorcycle dead, and then like that's like the wake and the funeral procession, or they'll just be chilling with a blunt or some shit like that.
There's a lot of interesting cultures.
I even seen people in Atlanta do it in a club.
I seen a dead man getting a lap dance in a video once.
I mean, it's an old school thing, right? Because they used to do like death photography and things like that, and you would pose with like your recently deceased. I was just at the Death Museum in New Orleans, and they had like a whole section on like death photography and things like that. It was a thing. There was old timey photographs, just like a full family of alive people plus their dead daughter.
What the? That's crazy. So,
in Madagascar, every few years, they unearth their dead family members. They put them in fresh clothes, and they like throw a party. They're like dancing with them and all that shit, and then they rebury them every couple years. Like,
that's crazy.
Whoa.
So, Doe, what would you like to go? You still haven't answered.
That's a cremation, because it was just a cheap.
But it sounds like you would prefer to get buried. But you just
I would prefer, but I don't have the money for it. I don't. You know what I mean? Like, so
I mean, the correct way I think
that on.
how it should go, right, is that you leave enough money to where your funeral is not a burden to anybody.
Do you know how much it costs?
To
bury yourself in New York.
In New York, I don't know how much New York is.
You know what I mean? It's. You pay money, bro. You're talking about 40 grand for the plot or 50 grand for the plot. Maybe for one person.
Tony's got a solution for that, Doey. He was already going to turn Central Park into nothing but parking. You just cut it in half and you build a vertical cemetery.
Maybe a see-through one where you can just see through the whole entire thing in the casket. Just walk by and see everybody's dead body. That might be a thing.
How do you feel about the sky burial, which is the Tibetan monks? They get their bodies cut into like small pieces, and they get set out for like all the birds and animals to devour them. So all they're left is just a bunch of bones. Their whole body gets devoured. They go right back into the cycle of life or whatever. The circle of life, I should say.
That's interesting. To my Western sensibilities, that feels weird because, like, imagine walking by and just see all these bodies just being picked on by birds.
Not only that, what about the chopping?
What? Yeah, who's doing the chopping?
Yeah, who's chopping this up?
these funeral homes, they're cutting you open, they're filling you up with stuff. So these people are already dealing with dead bodies. Like, it's probably the same type of people that are capable of doing that.
We have a mortician buddy in our little social circle here in Austin. She has told some crazy stories. Doey's heard some of the crazy stories that she tells.
Yeah.
Damn. I don't know. That's a hard job for me. I think that would be a hard job.
There's also this other religion. I don't remember. They have this tower. This story is kind of fucked. They have like this tower. They call it the Tower of Silence, and these special priests, they take the bodies up to the top of this tower, and the tower is like filled with vultures, like a crazy amount of vultures, and they lay the bodies out, and the bodies just get devoured until they're just like dust on these like stone tablet or these stone like I don't know why I said tab. I guess like a platform
Slabs?
or whatever. Yeah, like slabs. And the crazy thing is, this is like a tangent. They started using this new medicine on cattle, and in that area, and that medicine was poisonous to vultures. So the vultures started eating like the cows that were taking this medicine, and they would all start to die. So at some point, the Tower of Silence was filled of bloated bodies. None of the vultures are eating the bodies because there were just no more vultures in the area.
Wow.
It's disgusting to think about.
That's wild.
But that's a whole tangent. I think it's an interesting way to go, is to let nature devour your body, which is kind of what happens when you get buried in the ground anyways. But you don't gotta, pay for a plot of land and a funeral procession and a casket and clothes and embalming and prayers and all that stuff.
Well, I guess what that Russian man went through is also the circle of life. To get him chopped up.
Yeah, but that guy was young, right?
Yeah, that was
Sucks,
really
man.
rough.
I think his dad watched him get eaten alive.
Oh,
That's wild.
Yeah, that's rough.
Was this? You said this is Russia?
Nah.
Oh,
It was
some
in
beach
Spain,
in
but it was a
Europe.
Russian guy.
Yeah, Spain, but it was a Russian visitor or something.
damn.
Yeah, it's wild. We got the orcas. Have you seen the video of the orcas taking the rudder off of the big ass boat? Something's happening down there. They're evolving, and they're like fucked humans. They're like,
I saw a picture of an orca, and it had the quote on it. It said, "Fuck them boats."
That's funny.
Fuck them orcas, dude. Fuck out of here.
Team Orca, dude.
I'd rather have an
I ain't
orca.
never been on a boat in my life. The one time I'm gonna go on a boat, they're gonna take my rudders out. Like, that's crazy. That's crazy. I ain't ever killed no orca. The hell?
I will shoot an orca if it tries to run up on me. It's gonna learn. You don't run up some.
You ain't killing no orca with a
I'll take my pistol out and I'll start shooting. All right,
You'll whip
I'll
out
get
that K.
the big harpoon. I'll be ready. Yep, like
You be on
get
some
closer.
Moby Dick shit.
All right, we turning you into some tuna
Damn,
or whatever you turn orcas into.
that's crazy. Well, ladies
The
and gentlemen,
filter fish.
for our next topic, UFO whistleblower being questioned on news and interviewed about UFO sightings and aircrafts that have been spotted. But the twist is he has the highest security clearance that you can have when it comes to this UFO and government organization. So I don't know how true it is or how not true it is, but there was a YouTube video we all watched, and I don't know. We're gonna tell you. But
It's a YouTube video on News Nation. It's there was apparently a whistleblower, I think from the Air Force, and he has all the credible, like they're saying that all his stuff is credible. He does have all these clearances. He has been in the military for X amount of years. He does know all the people he's talking to. All the people that he has gotten this information are vetting him. So it's like, I've never seen this type of whistleblowing, and he has a higher clearance than the team that the Pentagon has who does research into all these type of things. He has higher clearance than them. So they are saying that they don't have any information on this, and it's because they don't have his clearance of, of level of information, and I guess they don't have the people he's talked to. So apparently we have a UFO retrieval team. And we've been retrieving UFOs for a very long time, and whatever they're dead pilots, and we've been reverse engineering the UFO technology, and that's how I'm guessing the military has gotten so advanced.
Has he? My thing is, with someone so high up in the clearance section, right? It's hard not to believe him, but it's also like, so there's no one above you that can confirm this, that you can maybe have some type of like confirmation. Like, we're just taking the word of someone to say they're the highest of highest.
There's people around him that have vetted him that are also.
My issue with this is like, obviously he can't review documents, right? Because all the documents that would confirm what he's saying are top secret. He would be a leaker at this point, right?
Yep.
If he were to release any of those documents. But I also don't see any of the big reliable news networks that I would associate with reliable news as reporting on this story. There's nothing in Reuters. I didn't see anything in the AP. I feel like I haven't seen any word that this is reporting, except for like the New York Post, News Nation, and like a handful of others.
Yeah.
So it's interesting. I do think it's interesting. I just don't know how much to care about this, you know?
Yeah, there were a few things in this story that I found, just the way they were presenting this, I was like, it just seemed a little fishy. Like, for example, the most important part of all this is that he's never actually seen any alien aircraft himself. All the information that he's providing is conversations he's had with other people. So this is like secondhand information. It's like somebody told him about this thing, and that's what he's talking about. Another thing is they never really explicitly say aliens from outer space. Like, I think in one comment, when the guy was like, have we ever engaged these alien aircraft? The guy was like, I can't talk about the nature of our engagements or blah, blah, blah. But it's like, people look at, a UFO retrieval program. It's like, yeah, a UFO stands for unidentified flying object. If Russia comes out with a brand new airplane that we've never seen before, it'll get labeled as an unidentified flying object. And if that were to fall down in our like territory, there will be a group of people to go and retrieve that stuff and learn about whatever new technology some other country's using. It's not necessarily proof that there are aliens, that we're retrieving aircraft from these otherworldly beings or whatever.
Yeah, just like that weather balloon from China or whatever. That was a UFO, technically, that they shot down. So it's just like people just.
So there were just certain things like that, and then like Mateo said, it felt weird that this was the only news organization reporting on this. I did look into the news organization a little bit, and they seem to. Like, they're trying to be like a credible news network. Like, they're like a new news organization that does like Coming Up and what was the guy, Chris Cuomo? He works there.
Okay. See, I was trying to do some real quick research. It looked like they're legit, but
yeah. I don't know how legit that makes him that Chris Cuomo works there, but I'm just saying, like, this is a guy who worked on real news for a long time. Like, my gut says he's not going to jump to like some crazy news network, you know what I mean? But who the hell knows, you know? The story just seemed weird. I don't know. I'm in the camp that I'm like, there's just no way that information that's like so many people are going to have access to is ever going to be secret, like of this caliber. Like, I just think with too many people, there's just too many ways that this information could get out. And it's
You don't remember what Trump said? He said, if you knew what I knew about UFOs,
I don't think anybody should believe anything Trump says. You know, Trump went to, what's that popular restaurant in Miami? Versailles or something like that?
Cuban.
He went there, He went in, he
Oh
told
my God.
everybody he was going to buy their meal. Everybody started cheering and all this stuff, and then he just left and didn't pay for anything. This happened like 3 days ago.
To
You can't
be
believe anything this guy
To
says.
be fair, Pooch, he never said that he was going to pay for that food. He just said food for everyone, which is a statement you could make at a restaurant if you just were excited about knowing how restaurants work.
Is that the quote? Food for everyone?
It's something like that.
Everybody was like, ah, this is expensive ass restaurant, so I'm sure everybody was hyped. They're like, yo, we don't gotta pay for this shit. And then he just dipped. This is like right after he came out of the courthouse or some shit.
Yeah.
That's crazy. People are probably ordering some top shelf product. They're just like, damn, now I got to eat this bill. Man, what a dick, bro.
Do y'all believe in aliens?
I want to so bad.
Yeah.
I want to believe that there's something out there. Yeah, there's a big space. I don't know if they're like us. You know what I mean? But I don't know. I think it's very. I love the unknown. I love space. I think all of that stuff is really cool. I like everything that new telescope is finding. The James Hub telescope. I always look at the pictures that come out, and I think a lot of that shit is very interesting.
I want to believe it.
The other thing too is like there are so many independent science organizations that are looking to the stars, trying to find anything, excited to find the pocket of gas in some galaxy far away or shit like that. And it's like nobody on planet Earth has found any indication of aliens, or if they do, they're all in on it with the government. It's just so hard for me to believe that there are aircraft that have actually come into our planet and nobody knows about it except for, you know, whatever the special UFO retrieval teams of
Think
all the
about
countries of the world.
If it happens in a remote area, it's just those people who were in that remote area. Now we have like all this shit like news and shit like that. But before, any of that shit could have happened and nobody would have known.
Yeah, but it's like the religious thing, like where it's like God had all the miracles and all the things to do back in the day. As soon as the cell phone came out, ain't nobody ever seen a miracle ever again. It's like it's hard for me to like, yeah. In the 60s, there were so many people getting abducted by aliens left and right and all this stuff. As soon as the advent of the cell phone camera came out, ain't nobody ever seen a UFO ever again. And you know what I mean? It just feels like it just feels like people see things that they can't explain. Like the Vegas thing, right?
Yes.
That video you linked is I remember I saw the other day. It was some cops. There's two independent videos. There's these people call 911 because they claimed they saw a UFO. I think they claimed to have gotten abducted or something. They said there were aliens standing in their backyard, tall aliens,
10-foot tall aliens.
Right. And then at the same time that was happening, the cops that were getting the call, in their body cam, you could see something kind of zipping by in the sky. They were just freaking out about something that was flying past in the sky when they got the call from somewhere else saying, oh, there were aliens in these people's backyard. There's a video, you can hear the cops like, yo, I'm so freaked out right now. This is creepy, blah, blah, blah. But it's like, it was a meteor. And it was like a comet or something. Like, and these other people were just full of shit. There was no aliens. They probably saw a thing flying in the sky and they just said some nonsense. Oh yeah, there were these 10-foot tall things in my backyard.
Bro.
I do want to believe that there is something out there. Because my thing is, why hide anything? Why keep shit a secret? Like, there's parts in Antarctica you can't even fly over there. But there's buildings over there if you do a Google Maps. And it has all these things. I don't know if that's made up, right? But I mean,
Yeah, they said that there's a hole in the earth in Antarctica. That's like the secret thing. Yeah,
Because the aliens live inside the earth.
Yes, hollowed earth theory.
My tia in Wisconsin was telling me that she thinks the aliens they hide in the Great Lakes in the U.S. that they have a civilization under the water, and that there's people that have said they've seen the ships coming out of the water.
It's just like there's a lot of things that they don't want to. Like, I don't know why you're keeping it secret. Are you afraid that we're going to freak out? It's going to be a mass panic attack? Or it's just like, let's keep it a secret so we can take advantage of the situation or whatever. There has to be some beings out there. We're just too huge not to have some, even if it's a fucking
I would say
plant or something.
insect.
Like,
Yeah, plant, insect, a rock with some fucking bacteria on it.
something,
I think that most likely there is or has been life out there. The problem is, like, even looking through like these telescope pictures and things like that, right? You're talking about looking at something that's so far away that the image that we're seeing of that thing today is from thousands of years ago in the past. So if there is a parallel civilization to us right now, there's a civilization in the same time frame as us that's developing and has space capabilities. Even in the telescopes, we're not going to see anything because we're looking 10,000 years ago, 1,000 years ago, whatever time frame it is.
That's wild.
Yeah, that's crazy to even think about. Like, time is crazy. But hey, if there is, and if there isn't, or if they're the lizard people, they're coming from this hollow earth or whatever the case may be,
like that
why keep it a secret? Like, just let us all know. It would just keep it moving. Like, if there's ways that, you know, you want to save the world and you're just trying to do it, just let us know. We'll know now that there's lizard people out there. And if we don't want to bang with the lizard people, then we just clear them out. Do something, like, you know, like figure something out.
Clear out the lizard people.
I mean,
you know, my dad says he's been abducted. He's got an abduction story. Here's my belief about his abduction story. I personally know that I have sleep paralysis. I've heard lots of researchers claim that most like alien abduction stories is just a sleep paralysis episode. So I think my dad just has sleep paralysis. But he claims that he was abducted and he remembers being suspended in midair, spread out on above the house, and he could see the house below him. And then he flew up into the light, and then his memory goes black until he woke up in bed.
How'd he get out of the house?
That's a good question. I don't have an answer.
They opened the window, slid him out.
He had an out-of-body experience with like a dream mixed into it, probably.
Something
he probably
like that
had like a sleep paralysis. The mind is a fucking crazy place, bro. It's wild.
Mm-hmm.
So I just want to respond to something. I think it's a myth that you can't fly to Antarctica. I think it's just baloney.
No, there's definitely. I'll Google it. But
there's definitely. I don't think
there's you can't fly to Antarctica, or there's areas in Antarctica you can't fly.
No fly zones. Yeah, there's no fly zones.
He's saying that there are organizations like military personnel ready to shoot your ass down if you fly over Antarctica. I don't believe this is true. There are a number of reasons why flying over Antarctica is impractical. Low visibility, harsh weather conditions, the fact that nobody lives there. If anything were to happen to your aircraft in those areas, you'd be screwed. Like, things like that. But there are no, like, it's not like a no-fly zone situation. And there's places in Australia and New Zealand that offers, like, tourist things that fly you over Antarctica so people could see Antarctica. There's researchers that fly to Antarctica all the time to study the region. It's not. I think these are the flat Earth people swear Antarctica's a no-fly zone because they believe that Antarctica is the edge of the world and there's more continents beyond Antarctica. And Hitler's over there. Tupac Shakur. And all the beautiful, there must be amazing things over there that the governments of the world are trying to block us out of there. Like that's like the story here. I don't think it's real.
So you're saying that west of Westeros is Antarctica, and then that leads to our world.
Exactly. Wow. Imagine there were dragons. The lands of always winter is Antarctica, and if you just go a little bit farther, you'd reach more like the United States, South America,
All right.
Go ahead.
I was about to say, I guess I stand corrected. I guess I was wrong, and I stand corrected by Pucho that you can, but it's just not smart to do because there's no place to land. The poles interference would affect the aircraft visibility. But there is a treaty from 1961 that bans all military activity over there, supposedly. But it's weird. Unless Google Maps is a lie, people have found buildings in, like, man-made buildings there in Antarctica.
Well, I mean, there are research bases and things like that, right? But they're supposed to be like purely scientific and not like military installations. I can't think of what the advantage would be of building a military installation out in Antarctica either, though, honestly.
Unless there were aliens and a hollowed Earth.
Unless there are things beyond and things like that. But no, I think like NASA has some research stations at like the poles on Earth just to research things and stuff like that. There's the people that are keeping track of the polar ice caps. You know, there are people in these areas that are doing things. But I don't think it's this like, you know, you're gonna get shot down. It's like those things in Far Cry 6. You enter the airspace, they're just gunning you down.
Anti-aircraft guns.
Yeah, it's crazy. That game is absurd. You can't fly anywhere in that game without getting shot down.
AKA Sam's.
As for whether I believe there's aliens out there, absolutely, that's my belief. I just don't think they've come to Earth because I feel like we would know. We know everything. It's hard for us to not know anything. Like,
what would be the point of an alien race so advanced that they can make it to Earth and then they just don't interact with us? They're like, and now we're just gonna go invisible and we're gonna abduct this cow.
Because they're probably looking at us like we're all morons. Like, how do you not know how to travel between space and time? Or you know what I mean?
I could see it
like the Star Trek don't interfere thing or something. We're not a high enough level planet on the Federation or something to get invited.
Yeah, no,
in.
not so much like a don't interfere. And who knows, that could be the case. But I'm just saying that like I see bugs and ants and all types of things every single day. I don't sit there and try to have a conversation with these things. So like if these aliens are like that advanced, maybe they just look at us like such a low form of life form that it's like we're just like insects from their perspective. You know what I mean? So it's like we're not even worth trying to have a conversation with.
They're like the nature videographers out in like the Sahara with like the David Attenborough like a voiceover. They're just watching us and filming documentaries.
Right. Like right. Like that's like one perspective, but like I have a hard time. I don't know. Maybe I think too highly of ourselves, but I feel like as a race of humans, we've done a lot. I'd have a hard time believing some alien like civilization traveling over here and looking at us and not trying to have communication with us, when from my perspective we have pretty advanced communication. We have hundreds of different languages around the world. We have a ton of technology. We have spacecraft to go into outer space and things like that. Like, I don't know. That's just my perspective.
What if they have, but the government just intercepted it before anyone got to know or find out, and they've been communicating like that
on some ET shit?
Something like if someone
found him hanging out with the homie.
But that's what I'm saying. If someone,
I just think like if they're an alien race that's so advanced, I don't think that our military is really going to be capable of thwarting all communication. Like I don't know. I don't know. It just seems unbelievable to me that these people that have figured out a way to cross galaxies essentially, because we haven't seen any indication that there's life out there unless they have the special cloaking devices to cloak all forms of energy and things like that we're looking for. It's like they're coming from a super far away place that they're going to get here and like crash land. You know what I mean? It just feels so bizarre to me. Like, I don't know. Unless it's like, what's the signs? Right?
They didn't realize it was a water planet they were invading.
Or War of the Worlds. They died because of germs, right? In that movie?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Like they came here, there's like their immune systems just instantly, boom. Like they start the invasion, they're destroying Earth, and then out of nowhere, all the aliens just start dying and nobody did anything. It's just the planet killed them. It's like, we win! You know, it's like,
that's awesome.
I don't know. It feels... I don't know. Maybe I was wishful thinking or something.
That's why we invented COVID-19. There was an alien invasion. We created COVID to get rid of the aliens, and we all hid inside so we wouldn't see the dead aliens on the street. I'm gonna go tell everybody.
That's a conspiracy theory right there.
In speaking of COVID, there's what was I gonna say? There's more evidence to suggest that it could have been a lab leak.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys have been following that. But
yep.
All the conspiracy theories feel vindicated by this, but it's like, nah, you guys were wrong before. There was no indication of a lab leak. You guys just ran with that story. Now that there is an indication of it, you're going to like reverse time and be like, you see, my opinions then were justified, even though I didn't have the information to have that opinion. But
I mean,
yeah, it's looking like a lab leak situation.
It makes sense. We're all investigating all kinds of diseases and things like that. Like, I'd be curious if it was an intentional lab leak. That, I mean, that's really the part that matters, I think, in as far as like a geopolitical situation kind of thing, right?
I think both matter. Like, if it's unintentional, there should still be actions against whoever unintentionally did this, because those people need more regulation in whatever they're working in. They caused a fucking worldwide pandemic. It's terrible. You know what I mean? Millions of people died because of their incompetence, right? They fucked up. But and then if it was intentional, like, this is war. Like,
Yeah.
it's like, yeah, this is crazy. That's straight up biological warfare. That's insane. Like, I don't know.
It's crazy.
Y'all hear about Russia taking nuclear weapons to Belarus?
They've been
As like a
threatening
threat.
about that.
Yeah.
They've been threatening that for a while.
At some point, we're just gonna have a crazy war. I just hope that no one brings out the nukes. Ain't no point of that. The fact that people build nukes is fucking beyond me. No reason for that.
I don't think we build nukes anymore.
No.
don't.
Back then, I mean,
Well,
there's a start
actually,
of it.
I mean, there are like there's other crazy stuff that's still being created though, right? I mean, there's like vacuum bombs and things like that. Like those things are crazy too.
There's no
No,
need
for sure. I'm just saying. I think like
I think there is a
I
treaty
think
though
our
to
nuke
not create.
production has been done since like the 80s or something like that.
No, I know that.
think
I'm
we've
saying, like, why even build it to begin with? Just like that's just gonna just fuck up the planet that we're living on. There's no point of that.
I mean, when they built the nuke, they didn't know what they were doing.
Oppenheimer kind of knew what he was doing.
He wanted, he wanted.
He
to
had
end all
the
war
realization
bombs.
as this stuff was ending, but like at the time, there's a race to just build the most incredible thing that you could build. You don't know the full effects of that until they started testing those things, how much radiation, the damage to the environment, all that kind of stuff. Like I'm sure there were scientists that speculated how terrible it could be. I don't know if people really knew what, like it's like that with everything. We build a cell phone. We didn't know that we were going to have a whole generation of people glued to their phones the way that we are. It's like, there's a time where you build something because you're racing to the best technology that you could build, and then you start using it in a lot of different ways, and then it has impacts on society. And it's like all those steps, I don't think anybody truly foresaw those things when the people back then were like, let's make a mobile form of communication. You know what I mean? Like,
For sure.
I heard those nukes released like brand new chemicals into the world, like they were not here before. I heard that's a big reason why steel isn't as tough as it used to be. It's because the radiation in the world. All right.
Crazy.
Anyways, next topic.
Well, anyways, for our final topic, ladies and gentlemen, how can someone who is awkwardly social approach another person as in a way to like maybe ask them out or just trying to see or interact with them without coming out as a creep or a little, pushy? A lot of people have those problems. They don't know how to communicate properly, or they're just too nervous, their confidence lack, and it becomes weird. And the perspective from each point of view is, negative or positive in a way. Pucho showed us a picture of a comment and how woman was saying that all guys are using this as I'm socially awkward because as a way to make us feel bad, to give them gordo, to give them a chance, that we bringing them in to feel bad. And that's a crazy perspective to have.
Well,
basically, there's this I don't know who the hell EV Magazine is, but these people released like an article basically saying 53% of single men don't approach women anymore because they're afraid of coming off as creepy. And their deduction ultimately was, all right, it's time for women to start making the first move if, we want some type of social interaction to continue. And the different like quote tweets that I saw was basically some socially awkward guys basically saying like, yeah, I don't want to make people feel uncomfortable. I know I'm socially awkward, so I'm uncomfortable approaching women. And then other people saying like, this is just men trying to make women feel bad and make them feel guilty because they are actually creeps. But
there's an aspect of it, right? Like I was reading about what do they call it? Weaponized incompetence the other day. And that's it's definitely like an old school thing like traditionally like your dad claiming I can't figure out the washer, so your mom's just gonna have to do all the laundry. It's weaponized incompetence. My dad is not actually that dumb that he can't figure out the washer, but it's easier to pretend like he is and have someone else do it.
I think both sexes do that too, though.
Yeah, I mean it's not a gendered thing. It's just it's a thing that people do in relationships. I think there's a similar thing here, right? Because you can weaponize a complaint about something or like admission about something to make other people feel bad for you not being able to do this thing. The tweet you read though, I don't think that's what the guy was trying to do. Like that's not how it came off to me. If that's the tweet that they were like in particular like critiquing.
It also sucks too because it's like you don't have to be socially awkward. Like you guys know me, I'm a social butterfly, but it's just like there is a point where you approach someone that you don't know and you're trying to, get to know them, to ask them out or whatever the case may be. And there's still going to be a little bit of nervousness. You just, because whatever you say, first, what is it? First impressions last forever or something like that, whatever the saying is. It's a hit or miss right there. Alfred, you just start off bad. And it's just like guys always have to be the one to start a conversation.
Initiate.
Yeah, it's just every now and then. You could be able to read the room too, though, right? Like if a girl, you guys are eyeing each other, the lip locking or whatever it is that people
they respond well to the Tony lip bite. By the way, you're the biggest creep if you're pulling that lip bite off.
I'm the biggest creep.
Millions of women around the world have felt assaulted when they saw your lip bite. I just want you to know that. Millions. No. All jokes aside, you're saying that you could read the room if people are like looking at you and kind of it seems like you're reciprocating
like a little
some
vibe
type of attraction or whatever.
Yeah. Then that's when you should approach.
I think some people have a hard time reading those.
Well, yeah, I mean, like we all know guy friends that the waitress is friendly, and they're like, she's into me.
Yeah,
I'm gonna get her. I'm gonna write my number on the receipt when I hand it to her.
If you do that and
guys
don't
try to hit on the bartender or the stripper at the strip club, they're like, she totally wants me, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's so difficult because like I feel like the different things that like you're saying, right? Like women being forward is considered whorish, so women can't be forward socially because then they'll be ostracized by society. Like a woman that approaches a man, a man might be like, oh man, she must approach a lot of dudes. I can't hook up with her. You know what I mean? And it's like, I don't know. I feel like sometimes people are locking each other into the social dynamics that they're in, even though they both want them to be different. You know what I mean?
We and men in particular created all the social dynamics currently, and then now we're complaining about the way that some aspects of them are. It's interesting.
I didn't create anything. So.
Oh, I'm not saying us specifically, but yeah, I don't know. I think that I do think that there's a lot of people that are just bad at reading the room in general. I will tell you, I don't want to be approached at the gym. If I'm at the gym, I'm working out. I don't want anyone bugging me. It doesn't matter. I barely like running into like friends I know at the gym. I definitely don't want anyone that I don't know approach me at the gym. So I feel that. I feel like when women post things about like being approached at the gym. I've also seen examples where it's obvious bullshit. Like, what is that one where the chick said, this guy won't stop coming up to me, and the guy goes up to her, he's like, can you please stop filming? He's like, I'm just trying to do sets in the background, and then you keep saying that I'm watching you. I just don't want to be filmed. Like,
that's a real twist.
Yeah, the gym filmers is crazy. That's a whole other thing. There's a lot of men that get like posted all over social media for being creeps when they're just being completely normal at the gym. They'll be like at the gym. They see a camera and they glance at it like 3 times, and then they'll get posted on social media like, "Look at this creep trying to figure out how to approach me at the gym." It's like, damn, like, it's like, or like the guys that just like walk by while some girls like working out, and then they get all pissed off, and it's like, dude, like you're filming across a hallway, across a walkway, or like all them people that be filming in bathrooms. You notice how many people take pictures of themselves at the gym in a bathroom? Yes. That's crazy to me. That's like a super violation. Like, even if you're trying to be careful, it's like you shouldn't be filming the bathroom. That just feels like an insane violation of privacy. Like,
gyms should just be a 0 camera place. Like, there should not be cameras in the gym. I don't want...
It should be a phone basket. Everybody got to put their phones in a basket.
Facts, dude. I don't want to be filmed all sweaty and red and huffing and puffing, trying to push the barbell off so I don't die. Like, no, thank you. Keep your camera away.
That whole gym recording thing is crazy. The people
they'll
just do
record
it for
a
show.
fat person and they make fun of them on social media. It's like the fat guy in the gym is the person we should be commending. That guy's working hard to change his life. Like,
absolutely.
But sorry, where
are the acceptable places to approach someone? Because I feel like there's a lot of unacceptable places to kind of loop it back around. I feel like the gym is normally not an acceptable place to approach someone trying to hit on them or get a date or numbers or whatever, right? And I think that most places are just don't approach someone. Don't approach someone while they're working. Don't try to get the coffee girl's name. Don't try to get the girl at the video game store's number. Like, don't bug people when they're working. I feel like don't approach someone when they're working, right?
Unless they are showing you signs that they're like into you.
Then that could be anywhere. That could be in the gym.
That's complicated though, right? Because like if you're working customer service, your job is to make the customer feel like you're there to help them and be friendly to them.
Yeah.
But there's a difference, though.
I
you
feel
know,
like,
there's a little.
I feel like if you're
sometimes.
No, you don't know. I don't think so. I think if you go to a place often and you kind of build a rapport with somebody,
that's what I'm talking
I think
about.
That's different.
That's
but
what
I don't think you should be going to a place a few times and you run into somebody there and they're nice to you, and that's like, I don't know. I feel like there's a conflict of interest at somebody's job. Like if somebody's approaching you trying to like get your number and stuff like that, like your job tells you that you need to be polite to these people. So all these interactions could come off as like, oh, she's cool with me asking these questions and this, that, and the third. And she's not telling me a hard no. So it must be like this gray area. And it's like, it's just like, you probably shouldn't just be approaching people at work unless the signs are crazy. Like, unless the signs are crazy. But in general, I don't think you should. I feel like there's a conflict of interest there, and I don't know.
Same line of thought. I'm not a fan of dating at work. To bring it to a conversation that never happened. I don't want a coworker to ask me out. I don't want to give a coworker my phone number in a non-work related way for the most part. Like,
that's probably the most norm thing than anything else, honestly. Work with somebody, you guys have some type of relationship, that's friends, and then that's more normal to me than someone trying to hit somebody on the gym or at their job and you don't work there. You know what I mean? That's more acceptable. I think that
I don't know. I've worked in like such professional environments.
Yeah.
It's just not it's not a level of like nonsense that I want to deal with. Like, why would I want to date someone that I work with when there's so many other options that come with less drama and less potential for drama, right?
I could see people hooking up at like Best Buy if they work there together and shit like that. Maybe like Lowe's or Home Depot, maybe some situation like that, but not in like a professional setting. Maybe less in a professional setting.
Obviously,
but like
anywhere
retail
socially.
and shit like that.
Yeah, anywhere socially, like a bar or like an outing event or something, like anything that's just
not
constant.
even at that. Well, yeah, I guess at the bar it's easier because
you're drinking, you're there to relax, have a good time, meet people. You're not going to a bar to sit there to be lonely. You go to.
I think it depends on the dynamic of the workplace. Like I've worked in places where everybody was like crazy friendly, and like hanging out outside of work was the norm.
Yeah, you were partying every weekend or something,
right? And it's like, all right, that type of setting, you're really getting to know people, especially if it's outside of a work environment. I agree with Mateo. I would not want the drama of having a workplace romance, but I could understand two people like approaching each other or something like that. I think in general, again, coworkers have this conflict of interest where you need to be polite and professional to your coworkers. So even if somebody's like trying to like have conversation that you don't want to entertain, you're kind of inclined to entertain it so that you're not being rude or something like that. And somebody else could take that as, oh, they must be really into me. They're having all this conversation with me. It's like, yeah, you should probably stop. Like you're being a creep.
Here's
HR complaint.
Here's a rule. I think I'm curious what y'all think about for like hitting on someone at the bar. Don't hit on someone at the bar if you're already drunk. You're not going to be at the top of your game. You're not going to be able to read those social cues properly. Like your perception is off. Maybe don't be drunk when you're hitting on someone at the bar.
Yeah, and also, like, when you're drunk, you're more liable to drop your standards that you have for whoever guy or girl. Your standards start becoming lower and lower to, you know, like, oh, hey, what's up? And then that's how one-night stands happen most of the time. But
I'm a very fun drunk, so I tend to be more chatty and stuff like when I'm drinking. So
Probably more creepy too.
yeah.
Probably. I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm with my tail. I think if you're getting drunk, I think like a few drinks in, that's whatever. But I think once you're like at the where you're drunk, I agree. You probably shouldn't be approaching people. Like you might say some shit, and I don't know.
yeah, for sure.
Know.
I mean, we've all been at the bar with the two
what's
drunk
the
guy
right
trying to
way?
hit on someone, right?
What's the right way to hit on someone at the bar?
Yeah.
Is it just the classic, like you see the girl that you're attracted to, you buy them a drink and just see what the response?
You could.
I don't think that one works. I
don't think I've never done this. I'm just
I've
curious.
had a woman's bought me a drink. I was in there like swimwear, bro. I love that. I was like, yes, that was awesome.
You ran over
So-
there as soon as you got the drink. You took the drink over there to have conversation.
He ran over. He spilled half of it when he was
Yeah.
running over there.
Yeah, I went over. I said, "What's up?" They told me, "Hey, this lady wants to buy you a shot," and I was like, "Oh," I was like, "Yeah." I took the shot. We cheers each other, and I went over and sat next to her, and it was a good time.
Does she
so
take a shot with you?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, okay. Damn. All right, that's fine.
Well, she can sip whatever she's sipping too. It doesn't. You don't have to take a shot.
I mean, if you're gonna do the giving someone a drink thing, like that's the best way to do it is through the bartender, right? No one wants you to just hand them a drink at the bar
yeah,
if you don't know
facts.
them.
That's crazy.
Yeah. But I think, like I said, there's ways that you can tell if somebody wants to be talked to, if somebody is just chilling there with their friend. I'm not saying that you can't just walk up. You should be able to walk up to somebody and be like, hey, what's up? And want to talk to them in like a social setting. I would say like there's better times for it. But if you just want to walk up and say hello to people and try to like, if that's your shtick, if you're good at it, if that's the way you make friends, then I don't know. It's not my way of making friends. That's just weird.
On the flip side, though, like I think you're right. I think that you should be able to go and like at least attempt to start a conversation if you're approaching it neutrally, whatever, right?
Yeah.
But those people also have a right to be like, nah, we're good.
Yeah.
And you got to be able to accept that and be like, yeah, cool, out.
Facts.
It's even harder to approach a woman when they're with all their friends.
I don't think
it's
you
a
approach someone.
shutdown.
I don't. I think that the most of the time you don't approach a big group of friends. Is like I'm just gonna put myself in there and see which one of these women takes my bait when I'm trying to hit on people.
No, like you see one girl that you like, and you can kind of tell maybe that they're single or whatever. You just go up and you approach them and talk to them. Their friends will like kind of sit back and just do the whispering thing. Some girls like that. A guy who's enough like not cockiness, but you know has that confidence to match a woman with all her friends. You pull up and you talk to her and try to get to know them. They like that stuff too. But like again, you got to read the room. If you know it's looking bad, get the fuck out, because then you become the creep. That's the last thing you want to be labeled as.
Oh man, then you got to leave the bar because you're just sitting there while there's an entire group of people that you're pretty sure just
Staring
talking
at
shit
you.
about you.
Yeah, you ruined the bar experience for sure.
See, that's why I say like I'm good on it. That's not my preferred move.
I've made friends not in those ways. So there's different ways to make friends at the bar. You don't always have to like walk up to people I've just, you know what I mean? I met a lot of people, and neither of them have been like me trying to go up and introduce myself.
See, I met plenty of people just sitting at the bar minding my damn business.
Same.
Guys and girls, they'll be like, "Oh, da 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 da." I'll be like, "Yeah, you know what? You're right." Like, and then boom.
It helps when you're obnoxious for sure. Like, yeah. Come on, you're obnoxious, Tony. I'm obnoxious.
I'm at the bar by myself watching
You'll
a
be at the
sports
bar
game.
watching the game, and every time something you don't like happens, you just start screaming.
you'll make a
People
hobby-
are gonna
Yeah.
engage with that. Like, yeah, somebody might be like, "Oh, you're a Cowboys fan?" Boom, conversation started, and that came from your being obnoxious. We've had similar situations. Like, for example, like, I'm obnoxious when we're at the bar and I'm screaming at the top of my lungs singing Sweet Caroline, and everybody
God.
starts singing with us, and everybody wants to now hang out with us. It's like that occurred because I was obnoxious. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, sometimes being obnoxious helps.
Also, just looking like a an outsider, or not an outsider, but like an out of town person. Instantly it's like a gravitate, like they just pull you in. Like, oh, where are you from? Because they can
Tony
just
wants
tell
you to
now.
wear those like tourist chancletas that they be wearing to get to the Disney with the khakis. You got the backpack, you got the drink on your head. You walk into the bar like that, people will know
That
he's
this
not
guy's
from
not
here.
from
He's
here.
touristing right now. You got the
Also-
Mickey Mouse ears. They'll know he's touristing.
Butch,
And
I've,
then
got
they'll
a,
just approach you.
Butch, I've got a complaint about you, by the way.
Oh,
This
I like
road
these.
trip playlist that you made me did not have the song Sweet Caroline on it.
Wow.
It didn't.
How dare you?
It's not a road trip. It's not on my road trip rotation. So yeah.
That is fair. I was riding by myself. It would have been weird just me screaming the lyrics by myself.
All by himself.
Also, I want to remind people it matters, what you wear also matters. Put on your good clothes when you go outside to talk to people. Make sure you take a shower. Fix your hair. Go get a haircut. And like these things will dramatically increase how the outside world views you and will interact with you. You know what I mean? A lot of
Put
people
some cologne on.
put some
Smelling good helps.
Some cologne.
Yeah,
on.
some
Yeah,
people.
wait, when I say
Drown
cologne,
yourself in that
buy
shit.
a good quality cologne. Don't be spraying Axe. Don't be the Axe guy. Nobody likes to smell the Axe guy.
Yeah. So like those things also help. Like cut your nails. You just gotta do some of these things.
Look the part. Look like you want to sell yourself, pretty much.
Yeah.
That's it. Very simple.
Yeah, I think yeah. Grooming is like the number one reason why people want nothing to do with you is your lack of grooming.
Yes.
My daughter's knocking on the door. Yeah, just getting a haircut, taking a shower, using some lotion, using some cologne, some decent clothing, like goes a long way.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, if you stuck with us through this entire episode and you're loving the flow, you're loving everything, share, like, comment. We love the comments. We read the comments. And
We live for the comments. All right.
we live for it. And as always, people, go one up yourself. Peace.